Hey everyone, this is week 17 of the Fantasy Cookout with your boys, Mr. Marque Wright, the college football aficionado. Man, those college football playoff games did not disappoint.
Sure
Oh my
didn't.
gosh.
Sure
Ohio
didn't.
State fumbled the bag.
Fumbled it.
Hard. Hard.
I'll be ashamed of themselves, boy.
And who would have thought TCU would have beat Michigan?
I didn't see it. My brother Vaughn saw it. I didn't see it. I didn't see it at all.
I didn't see that shit. You got that vision, boy. Like
Man,
Tony Romo when he hitting wit.
geez.
Man, I just didn't feel good about Michigan, man. I just didn't feel good about them, man.
Yeah. I heard Harbaugh was thinking about going to the Panthers.
Now I heard Broncos.
Oh, is it Broncos now? I heard
Yeah, they
Panthers.
were saying that
Okay, so
they were saying he's supposed to be offered $20 million a year, which would be the highest paid coach and a new standard of coaching pricing.
man, hey, he's
Which would
coming
reset the
back to the
market.
NFL. Hey, Harbaugh was like, man, fuck this.
Well, you can't forget, man. He took a pay cut in Michigan, and they took
Yeah.
him to the playoff last year, and then they didn't give him a raise back. Um, because when they cut him, he's like, well, just give my salary to the people who during the pandemic. That's what he ended up
yeah.
doing. Because he was like, "This is ridiculous. Just give my remaining salary to the people who the workers that work for Michigan who affected
Yeah,
the
we actually
pandemic."
need it. Like,
Yeah,
need it.
that's what he did.
That's solid.
You can do that when you're rich.
I mean, yeah, he did coach for the 49ers, took them all the way to the Super Bowl, before the lights went out. And then, yeah,
Yeah,
Ray Lewis with their atmosphere. All that good stuff.
yep.
But yeah, so and we got Mr. Davon Elder over here, Mr. Trade for Yourself. Catch him every Wednesday at 7 Eastern, giving all the trade knowledge. Hey, this market keeps on tumbling. It keeps on tumbling. Hey,
Mm-hmm.
we are in prime time for recession mode, even though they
Yeah,
won't say it.
man. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's time to tap in. Now's the time to tap in.
Oh yeah,
Tap
you
in.
don't want to be looking back 3 to 5 years from now and be like, damn, I should have jumped in when they everything was down.
Yeah.
Quick question, Vaughn. What's the easiest way to get into the market?
Mm,
Just to
the
get into the
easiest way
game.
to get into the market. The easiest way to
Yep.
get into the game is to number one, open you a brokerage account. Open up a
Mhm.
brokerage account. Just that way you can have an account. Number two, this is very key. Like this is what people don't normally do. You have to put money in the account. You have to
All
put
right.
money in the
Yeah.
account. Okay. Open the brokerage account. Connect your bank account. Put money in the account. Okay. Okay. And buy the S&P 500. You can start with ticker symbol SPY.
Got it.
Those are 3 steps that I would give a person. Easy way to get to the market. And from there, you just gotta keep learning. Just gotta keep learning.
So can you start? Can you start with $100? That's good. They get you
Yes,
going.
you can definitely start with $100. You start
Okay.
with $100 and build.
There
Start with
you go.
$100 and build.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, just put it out a little bit of your paycheck every month, saying, "Hey, I'm put this into my account," and then when it gets enough to buy the stock that you want, make sure you know enough about it or the index fund. Just buy it, and then just keep doing the same thing over and over again. If you buy into the S&P, you'll be fine over the long
Eventually,
term.
I guess eventually you have a portfolio, right?
Yep,
Exactly. You have a portfolio. Mm-hmm.
All
yep.
right.
So hey, come to check him out with all that knowledge. Check him out on YouTube, IG, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter. I don't even know if you got a Twitter. Do you got a Twitter?
No, I don't. No, I'm not on Twitter right now.
Hey, we
I
both got
might
to do.
add
We
to.
both got to do better. I've been
Yeah.
told about myself about this social media shit, so I need to up my game.
Yeah.
But second, and lastly, we'd like to thank everyone who subscribes and watches our videos every week. Much appreciation, and we're going to continue to do our best to bring out more solid content. Even though fantasy season's over with, the football never ends. We still got playoff games. We also still have our own information, sharing our knowledge about fantasy drafting, everything about fantasy football. So tune in, tap in, and I promise you'll be more knowledgeable for your draft next season because we're gonna put in the work. That's all we do. That's
Oh
all
yeah,
we do.
yeah.
All
I'm already
right.
ready for the off season, man. Ready to get started.
Oh yeah, because I'm looking for the NFL draft. We're gonna have to make that a show, man. That's gonna have to be a show.
Yes, sir.
All right. So let's go to our week 17 games of the week. So, I had the Bills and Bengals, but as everybody may know, we had the game was canceled. Damar Hamlin, Bills safety, he went into cardiac arrest on the field after being tackled, and now he's in critical but stable condition. But it was confirmed he went into cardiac arrest, so the game was postponed. As of now, the game will not be played, from what I've been told. It's just going to continue on the week 18, but more information will be sent out about that game. And from a fantasy aspect, we'll talk about it a little bit later. But without that game being played, it kind of puts a lot of fantasy people's seasons on the limbo. There's a lot of crucial players on both sides of that ball. They were supposed to play that game. So, but first of all, we just want to put our hearts out to his family. They're going through a tough time, and we hope he's able to recover and come out safely.
Yep.
Yeah, tough situation, man.
Very tough. But since that happened, I watched the 49ers and the Raiders game on YouTube, and oh my goodness. I think a star was born, Marque should know about this player, Auburn alum, Mr. Jarrett Stidham. Jarrett Stidham.
I know, trust me.
Of Auburn University. Now it was former Patriot, now Raiders. Was all bred up in the Patriot way. Knew the system because I did a little bit of research. He was like, yeah, he was teaching guys on the team the system. So he knew it way better than Derek Carr. Man, he went off 23 of 34, 365 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 7 rushing attempts for 34 rushing yards versus a top-ranked 49ers defense, which is the crazy thing about that. He did all that against it. Now, I'm going to say what happened in that game is what Marque always says. He let his nuts hang. He had nothing to lose, everything to gain. He knew the system. You have Devontae Adams. You have the number 1 running back in Josh Jacobs.
Yeah.
And, that game did not disappoint in the least. I was watching that. I saw the throws being made. Man, you had Paul Samaro making plays. You had, oh my gosh. Who's the other tight end? It just hit a blank.
Waller.
Yeah, Darren Waller was back into his prime form. I mean, it was beautiful. It was a beautiful game. And even on the opposite end of the ball, Christian McCaffrey doing his thing as always. Yeah, Brock Purdy leading that offense. Brandon Ayuk being that guy. Brandon Ayuk was that guy. And George Kittle doing George Kittle things. It was an all-around close game. It was just won by a field goal in overtime. And so, that game kind of set a precedent. And I was like, wow, the future is looking pretty bright for the Raiders if, they want to keep Jarrett Stidham, which, I've heard some pundits say they're not going to even give him a chance, But it's kind of hard not to, because they're kind of giving up on Derek Carr. And Derek Carr is going to be shipped off somewhere in the offseason. And he gets to decide where he gets shipped off to per his contract. So, and Brock Purdy, I mean, he's prime rated him.
That's his job, man. He got it. That's his job.
Yeah, are you going to go back to Trey Lance after all this? Hell no. Because are you going to go back to Garoppolo? Shit, you didn't want Garoppolo to begin with. Mm-hmm. So Brock Purdy is still doing his thing out here, and he's winning games,
But I will say though, it is going to depend on his playoff performance. Because if he get in the playoffs and he just wet the bed, then, he can open the discussion back up. But if he's a Brock Purdy, if we've seen these past few weeks, then he got a job secured.
I know. And it's like you're in the perfect position too. It's like you have a solid defense, which defense makes the team really. Because when the offense is slacking and they ain't got the chemistry going on, the defense steps up. I mean, and the 49ers is one of the best in the NFL. So I think 49ers have a good shot of making a deep playoff run, in my opinion. Just depends on the performance of Brock Purdy and see if he can, translate what he's doing in the regular season into the offseason. Because it's two different animals. Like,
Right.
I always make a joke. So, like, one of the guys in my other league who ended up winning, he said, I'm Eli Manning. I got the Eli Manning effect right now. Barely make it to the playoffs and then go on a run to win the chip. I was like, yeah, that's Eli Manning.
You just got to get in there, man.
Yeah. Hey, the only man to beat Tom Brady twice in the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Impressive man. Short list.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, that was my take on it. If you hadn't watched the game, look at the highlights, man. You'll be highly impressed. I can see the Raiders doing some good things. If they can make it right in the offseason and Jarrett Stidham is there, try them out for a year and see what happens. I think it'd be some interesting things going on in Las Vegas. But that's my take. That was my game of the week. We're going to bring it over to Mr. Marque Wright. What was your game of the week?
I had Cowboys versus the Titans. Now, this game was a lot tighter than it should have been in the beginning. Actually, I think the first quarter, the Titans were up 10-0.
Yeah.
The Cowboys are just struggling. But just like true Cowboys do, they bulked up and just got it done. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't a game that was highly televised or people had a lot of stake in because everybody, I think 99% of the country chose the Cowboys to beat the Titans.
I mean, yeah, because you had
Derrick you even said in the last podcast, you said that it was actually I think on one of your shorts. It's gonna be a tough matchup with actually they don't start Josh Dobbs at quarterback for the Titans instead of Malik Willis, which is I like. Wow, that was even worse. And he didn't have a great game either. And they're actually supposed to get the start for next week too, but I mean it's the end of the season, so what difference does it make? But the Cowboys, I found out too. This is a first back-to-back 12-game winning season since the 94-95 Super Bowl run. So I don't know if it's an omen. I don't know. But it's first time we're back-to-back 12-win season.
Hey, that'll be interesting. I mean, there were some key players out for that game. And I did a quick Instagram on it. You didn't have Derrick Henry.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't have Ryan Tannehill because I mean he just had ankle surgery literally the week before, and they're talking about him playing possibly next week or this week coming up. I'm just like, no way. And then also you didn't have Tony Pollard, so Zeke got all the carries. He got to eat the whole time.
He did.
So the Titans, they kind of laid down. They just had a whole bunch of defensive players down because I think they're all trying to get ready for this big divisional game coming against Jacksonville this week. I mean, this one decides if they actually make it to the playoffs or not. So they gave Derrick Henry the rest, so he can be prime Derrick Henry when he comes in and tries to run all over the Jacksonville defense. But I think Tennessee just laid down the game. They're just rested. They just rested.
I mean,
it kind of sucks, right?
Like you said, why not though? It sucks for fantasy, but from a team aspect, it makes sense.
Yeah, because like players are just like the guy who actually won. He had to sit Derrick Henry and he had to sit Tony Pollard. He had both of them. I was like,
man.
He was like, I give up.
Who was running back? Sam Perrine?
No, he had Isaiah Pacheco and somebody else. Yeah. Okay. But he was playing against a guy who had Kirk Cousins.
Oh.
So the guy who had Kirk Cousins.
He got blessed.
Yeah. Kirk Cousins sucked.
Yeah.
But we can talk about that later. All right, Vaughn. What was your game of the week, man?
Man, my game of the week, man, was the Carolina Panthers versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, man. Tampa Bay Buccaneers clinched the NFC South by the skin of their teeth. Okay, like it was crazy. They came through it, and they scored three TDs in the fourth quarter when they were down by 11 points in the fourth quarter. Because we were talking about that game, we were like, man, if Tampa Bay lets them come out and win this game, man, like this would be embarrassing for them. But they ended up clinching the division. Mike Evans, Yeah, like Mike Evans went insane today.
I
Like
know, Marque, you got some
insane.
hate against him, but
Like he put up a 50 piece. 50 piece.
did.
That's the type of stuff that Mike Evans was out there doing. Chris Godwin, he had a great game. He put up over 20 piece. So
but
Brady was dicking and dodging to his guys. He was giving the ball to his guys in this game.
Yeah.
And those were his two big dogs. The two big dogs that came through for this game.
Well, I'm glad he finally figured it out, but he figured out a little too late for me. So
yeah.
Guys, we can always talk about this stuff. I'm learning the term fair use, but words cannot describe what happened in the game. So you know what? We just gonna put a little bit of a preview. It just show you the greatness of Mike Evans this game. So look at this. Look right there, wide open. All they can do is play two-hand touch. That's all they got. Look at this. Brady just waiting, poised, already looking downfield, just ready. Launches that thing. Still got that arm in stride. Touchdown.
When Brady when Brady has that much protection, man.
Right.
when he has that much protection, dangerous things are going to happen. I'm telling you.
Let's look at another one. Let's just look at on replay. Just look at that. In the pocket, looking downfield. He's 45 fucking years old. Still got that thing in him. Launches that thing. Mike Evans burnt the DB. Just burnt him.
Yeah.
No, it was like a whole 5 yards ahead of the dude. Not even way. Now we got another play. Tom Brady, Mike Evans, just climbing that ladder, like climbing Jacob's ladder. Just doing his thing.
Hey man, no lies told here, man. Like hey, look at it. Look at it. Look at what's going on here now.
In the pocket again. Look at that arm. Again, same play. Why the fuck open? And why not? Because he was just like, let's do it again.
Yeah,
he may be number 13. Hey, he may be number 13, but he ain't unlucky today. Look at there. Just burnt the dude. He should be embarrassed. Should be embarrassed.
Now, I love Evans, man. I love his size, man. He got a good size for a receiver, man. But it didn't work out that year with Brady, man. Brady, I don't know, Brady tried too much dink and dunk instead of just shooting for the moon, just going for it. Because I guess they played loose in this game. They knew they had to win.
Oh, yeah.
So they weren't playing to lose. So,
all right.
Difference.
And here's the last one, just for the funsies. Another ball. Same play. Mike Evans.
Yeah, on that same DB Henderson.
On Henderson.
He just owned it, man.
Yeah.
They would have thought they would have just changed up, Look at there. Just so sad.
And when you can't stop, you can't stop it, man.
Two-hand touch. That's all he was playing all game. Two-hand touch. But yeah, that was Mike Evans, man. That was phenomenal play, man. Phenomenal play by Mike Evans.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Definitely, man. Look at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, man. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to have a home game against an NFC East opponent, guys. NFC East opponent. I don't know who the NFC East opponent will be, but they will have a home game against an NFC East opponent.
Yes, sir.
And at home, you always got a shot.
Yes, sir. All right. On to our third segment. We're going to keep it very short because, it's usually notable injuries, but, we already brought this up about Damar Hamlin. That's the most significant injury that happened this week. Don't like to see that stuff. But for other players, you had Nick Foles with some ribs. He got knocked out of the Giants game. Sky Moore, hand injury. Sky Moore was actually, starting to light up the place. He's starting to get in that form. I think he's going to be a good weapon for, God damn it, Patrick Mahomes. That might go right. Later, next year, I think he could be a good play. There's a lot of good talent in the wide receiver realm for the Chiefs. You got Kadarius Toney, maybe another year under the belt, under that system. Maybe you can figure things out. I know Juju will never get drafted by Mr. Davon Elder over here.
Never
He
again.
said kick
Never
rocks.
again.
He told him to kick rocks, and I can see why. Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Yeah, you ain't never again.
He might get cut. He might get cut.
He should get cut, but he getting paid though, didn't he? Didn't he just get a contract?
Who, Anderson?
Oh no.
No, Marquez Valdez-Scantling.
I don't know.
Oh, let's do some research. Let's see. Marquez Valdez-Scantling contract. I love the internet. Wow. I'll let y'all see it for yourselves. This is Marquez Valdez-Scantling.
3 year, 30.
I don't think they're getting rid of him.
Oh, he on his second deal.
3 year, 30 mil.
Congratulations, Marquez. You stole
Hey, whoever your agent is,
yeah, right.
make sure you take him out for the nice drinks. I mean the old shit. Because he got you set up real nice. You stole money. You robbed.
He's making $10 million a year for that trash he's producing on the field.
Yeah. He got paid.
Dog.
I knew he just got a contract.
Hope he put $10 million back in it for annuity payment or something like that, so you get paid in his later years. He might not get another contract.
Nah, unless he balls out. Unless he balls out these next 2 years.
Yeah, he just need one good season out of 3 years.
But that's the thing. Like with Kansas City, I don't think that he's going to have the opportunity because the wide receiver room is too crowded. It's too crowded.
And there's a lot of talent in the wide receiver room. And then you got McKinnon, who's basically a wide receiver.
McKinnon.
Right.
He's basically in the slot. McKinnon's in the slot, short area targets to Kelsey, and you might get a couple bombs to Kadarius Toney or Juju, whoever is open. That's right. Or Sky Moore. Or Nicole Hartman. Can't forget about him.
Kansas City, man, is an equal opportunity wide receiving core, man. Patrick Mahomes doesn't care who he throws the ball to. He has a safety valve in Travis Kelce. Everybody else split down the middle at this point.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't know who's going to go off. You don't know who's going to go off on Kansas City any given Sunday.
Preach. But you got Teddy Bridgewater. He got hurt, finger injury on his right hand. You got Jacoby Myers, shoulder. He was ruled out of the Dolphins game. Robbie Anderson was ruled out for the Falcons game. And Marlon Mack, he didn't return for the Chiefs game, but who's Marlon Mack? Anyway, those are the injuries that we had in Week 17. Some still notable ones. You got your Lamar Jackson, who still hasn't played in like 3 weeks. So that's getting real interesting for this contract negotiation. I think Marque's right. He's gonna get franchise tag. He mentioned this a few shows ago. I think that's going to be his case. Obviously, the Eagles need. Who do they need? Marque?
Yes, they need Jalen Hurts.
Okay,
they need him.
They need him. Yeah, because Minshew ain't got it. He showed a good game, that against the Cowboys, but then it's just he's taking 2 L's.
But if you watch the Eagles game though, can you see how the defense is totally different from when they run it with him? They run with Jalen Hurts. It's like when they run it with Minshew, it's more. I say more. It's more methodical. It's more standard to the NFL. It's pass here, pass there. Dump the ball off, hand the ball off. When Hurts get in there, it's like watching these college football playoffs. It's like watching TCU. It's the same deal. Hurts he gonna keep it, run left, run right, or he might dump to his tight end, or he might throw a bomb down the field. So where he has improved this year, I'll admit, his downfield pass. It's improved. Mm-hmm. It has improved.
Okay.
He used to be terrible at that. So it has improved. So he is reliable on that front, but without the unpredictability of Jalen Hurts, Philly can't succeed without him.
Nah, because he has that run. He has that run aspect to him. Because it's
Right.
like if the defenses don't protect against the run, they're gonna
Right.
get burnt on. And he's done it for games. I mean, he had like 150 plus yard game, this season. And
Right.
I think, yeah, so he'll burn you on with the legs, but then he throws the deep balls to either Brown or Smith.
Yeah.
So
I heard he has that same injury that Bryce Young at Alabama had. He got an AC joint injury in his shoulder. So it just take time for that to heal. Because Bryce Young, he wasn't right for like maybe 3-4 games, honestly.
but this is gonna get tight though now because they were gonna be the top of the NFC East, but now is it NFC East?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, NFC East. I had it right.
Yeah.
But now the Cowboys are creeping up behind them. They're only one game behind them now.
Right. Yeah.
Week 18 is going, man. Week 18
It'll make all the difference.
Going to decide it, man. It's going to decide it.
Think Cowboys could be NFC East champs. Think about that.
And that first round bye is worth it. So,
and they'll be number one. They'll be number one.
If he can play, he needs to play in that game.
Yeah.
Because Minshew couldn't get it done. All Minshew needed to win was one game.
Yeah, and they play the Eagles play the Giants.
That's a tough game to come back for Jalen Hurts, man. Because Giants, they scrappy.
They hungry. Yeah, the Giants
they're
hungry.
not, they're not gonna lay down like Titans did with the Cowboys.
Nah, they put out the whole squad. They bring Daniel Jones, they bring Saquon, they bring the whole game.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. But now we'll just move on to our next segment, which is the state of confusion of the fantasy football world. What the fuck is gonna happen with this Bills-Bengals game? Because everybody with a person who needs to play in that game, Burrow, Allen, Diggs, Singletary, Higgins, Chase, the tight ends. It's like the kickers, Bass. All these.
The defense.
It could be defense too. Shit, the way things going. I mean, you got all these players that are crucial to gambling and also the fantasy football teams. I mean, me included. I'm just like, well, damn. It's like I could lose, but I could have won too.
Right.
So let's go and present, the last update for this fantasy season. It is my other league. The team decided to show off. Really, DeAndre Swift. Really, DeAndre Swift. Yes, I'm calling your name out.
That's how it goes, man.
You decide that you started to light up the field right when I don't need you because I'm already out of the playoffs in that league.
Yeah, my other league, I got 180 points in my other league for no reason.
It's too late now.
Too late. They're playing for the 7th place game.
Wow, it says 100% favorite now. Wait, did they decide it?
Yeah, because they're not playing this week. I guess so.
Shit!
I mean, right now they got that. I mean, they got it postponed.
But it's postponed. But the payout might not go out yet. The payout might not go out yet because I was reading too that depends on who the manager is of our league. That they could just say, we're not gonna count week 17. We're gonna do week 18.
Come on!
So the totals that they will get in week 18, that'll be the totals for week 17.
Nah, dog.
So
I think.
Look at this.
To be honest, I think that's the only way to be fair, man. It's the only way you can do it. Man, because if not, because something. This just got Chris is crazy. You got you gotta do something. You gotta do something to make it fair. Because think about it, you got the fantasy perspective, you got the gambling perspective, but guys. These guys were tops in the AFC. These guys were fighting for home field. You got so what? You got
so many depending on that game. That single game was deciding playoff berths and everything else. It was deciding a lot of shit.
So I mean, if you can't play that game, you got to make some decisions on how you are going to move forward because it has to move forward in some way.
True. Very true.
Yeah. So this game is not going to get replayed. Like I said, it's going to be. I think it's going to be just ruled as a tie.
Yeah.
So nobody's going to have a win. You know.
But then it's like, what do they do about the playoff implications? You know.
Or it won't change. So whatever it said. I mean, it's going to come to week 18.
That's tough.
So
yeah, because the Bengals can still get home field if Kansas City loses and they win. Buffalo can still get home field. So I mean, they can still get home field even with a tie.
Yeah.
So,
but it's really, they said it's like going to be up to the Bills though. If they want to play that game. Because it's possible they could play it next week. But would you want to play 2 games going into a possible 3rd game with the playoffs right around the corner? Would you want to do that? Like, would you want to have that type of time crunch?
Yeah, and then it's just player safety too, because it's like playing that many games that quick. I mean, these are, they describe playing in the NFL games getting hit by a car every Sunday. So
yeah, I mean, they can play on Monday, then play again on Sunday, then play again the next Sunday with no bye. So it can get rough.
I don't know, man. This might.
That's why I think
the NFC. Yeah, I don't know, man. The NFC side, they're fine, but like the AFC side, the playoff schedule for the AFC side might get adjusted a little bit. I don't know.
Yep. So like, if this was like, Buccaneers versus the Buccaneers versus the Panthers, this would be a whole different deal. Like,
yeah, because
it'd be a huge deal.
Because look,
having a tie, because a tie would it actually I think it'll help the Cardinals if they got a tie. I mean, help the Panthers if they got a tie.
Yeah, because this is the AFC.
So you like in some leagues you can't do that. They have to be that game probably have to play out. But fortunately, both these two are two top teams, so they're not going to be hurt. Impact's not going to be as bad.
I
mean, but a loss could have helped the Ravens.
Yeah, but the Raiders down 2 games, so unless
yeah, a loss. I mean, yeah, like a loss definitely could have helped the Ravens because the Bengals have to play the Ravens on Sunday. So if the Ravens were to beat the Bengals, that would give them an opportunity to win the division.
Yeah. But with the situation, ain't nobody gonna fight them on it. That was this.
It's so much, man. So much.
Not gonna fight
like I said, man. So much.
The people more upset that people gonna be in that bubble. So, you fight for that last wild card spot. Now it could impact. Especially you need other teams to win. You need teams to beat this team. You need this team to lose. It'll mess with the whole sequence of events you need to have.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, this is gonna be interesting.
Yeah, it's gonna get a little. I think it might get a little messy, man.
I mean, you don't want to get messy because it's just the seriousness.
You don't.
The seriousness of what happened, but it's like.
At the end of the day, I mean, it's still NFL, still a business. I mean, they got to keep going.
Yeah.
So I mean, if they say they want to play another game, NFL can put another game out there. I mean, my thing is they got the power to push weeks back if they need to. I feel like they have the power to do it. And I mean, they can't change the Super Bowl date. That can't happen.
Oh no, because everything's like
TV schedule already set. TV schedule already set.
Yeah. TV schedule.
But best believe though, if there's an extra game that got to be played, there is a network that will pick it up and put it on TV. So you ain't got to worry about that.
Amazon.
Hey, Amazon would. They'll pick it up. That's a perfect partner for that kind of game.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
Because Amazon not tied to any set schedules and strains of shows and like that. They can just air when they get ready. If we need to show 8 o'clock, all right, we ready to go at 8 o'clock. We just need some announcers. Kurt Herb Street, football over. College football pretty much over. He can come back.
Yeah. He's been doing fine on his Thursday night games. But let's talk about the fantasy implications. Obviously, Josh Allen didn't play and Jamar Chase didn't put up anything. Stephon Diggs, he was just getting warmed up, and Singletary, did nothing really. But that was early in the game. So, but let's talk about the players that did play. Pat Mahomes, 328, 3 touchdowns. I mean, Pat Mahomes, 1 interception. Pat Mahomes things. Denver actually played them pretty close. I was watching that game on the highlights. Russell Wilson looked like he was trying to, prove that he was worth being, paid all that money in that 5-year contract. Still think he's trash, but a lot of that is depending on his offensive line. They are not, giving him enough time to do anything. He's always got to scramble. But maybe a coaching change. I heard Sean Payton too coming back, but the Saints got to let him go. That's the only thing about it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The Saints got to let him go when
Marque can buy his way out.
He ain't doing that.
Yeah.
Unless the right amount of money comes and they go buy him out for him, like they give him the money to buy out. Yeah. Christian Kirk, I don't want to talk about him. Najee showing up at the end of the season, 111 rushing yards and 1 receiving touchdown to beat their rival Baltimore Ravens.
They need every 111 yards too.
Yeah, they sure did. Hey, he did it. Dallas Goedert, I thought he was going to do more, but he did fairly well considering. Mike Williams, he went above, 94 yards. It could have been nice to got a touchdown, but beggars can't be choosers. Zach Moss, I mean, he did enough for Zach Moss, 74 rushing yards. Yeah, I can live with that, considering he was just, riding the oak. Patterson, the kicker for Jacksonville, good. And then Dallas defense, of course. They're going to do good because Tennessee didn't have an offense. So they were able to do their thing. Now, this would happen on the week I play DeAndre Swift. I'm expecting him to lie down. He gets freaking 2 touchdowns, 1 reception, and 1 rushing for 78 yards. Evan Ingram was fired. Tyler Algier, the new starting running back for the Atlanta Falcons, probably. 83 rushing yards, 1 rushing touchdown. Not bad, considering that, Atlanta kind of sucks.
And Atlanta won. Let's shout out to Atlanta for the win, man. Who would have thought that?
Yeah, 20-19, man. 20-19. Against the anemic Arizona Cardinals with their third-string quarterback.
Falcons pretty bad too.
Oh yeah, they got Rittner or something.
Desmond Ritter. Yeah.
Did he play?
Yeah, he played.
Oh, he played for one of his last games.
I listened to some local radio this morning, and people actually kind of happy with Desmond Ritter because one thing he doesn't do, he doesn't turn the ball over. So I know that's a low standard for your quarterback, but if all do not turn the ball over, then I guess he's okay with Atlanta right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but he definitely not the long-term answer.
I know that Atlanta radio is not pleased with that garbage. I know they did not.
That's what they did, man. I was shocked.
I'm pleased because my quarterback is not turning the ball over. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They said Matt Ryan, turnover machine. Mariota, turnover machine. Ritter, he would throw the ball away or he'll dump it off, but he will not throw a pick. I know they may have jinxed him because I'm sure he's gonna throw 2 next week. But
yeah, it'd be his last starts as an NFL quarterback.
Look, Desmond Ritter. Look, Desmond Ritter won't even last 3 years in this NFL.
Right.
I
didn't realize this, but he actually was a 3rd-round pick. So they actually got him kind of high.
Yeah, this is why we got to do our own draft analysis.
So he can be a certified backup for a long time in the league. This might be the only time, like you said, this might be the only time he ever starts. He may start next season.
Maybe like a game or 2.
I mean, it depends on this draft, man.
Yeah, Atlanta, pick a fucking quarterback because you need something with life.
They ain't gonna do it, man. They need another receiver.
Oh yeah, because Calvin Ridley screwed him over.
They need a receiver badly because Drake London. I didn't like that pick in the beginning, and he just, I don't know.
He's not number one.
He ain't got enough dog for me, man. Like he want a number one receiver to me.
He's not number one.
And then the other pass catcher is gonna be Kyle Pitts, but
yeah, he can't stay on the field. And then but I feel like if he has had a somewhat competent quarterback, he might be okay. But did he really ever have one in Florida either? So
Kyle Trask, is that the one that was there?
No, Kyle Trask was okay. I'll take that back.
Yeah. They had a good season.
Trask was okay. They
had one good season. Went to the SEC championship game. Lost about him.
Yeah. All right. So that's all the fantasy talk that we got for that. But we can talk about our favorite segment and our namesake of the show. Who's invited to the cookout? As we always talk about every week, that those players, that showed out, gave us that hope in our league, gave us that, that fire that we needed to win. And then you got those other players that, they were straight cheeks, disappointed us, cost us to lose games by maybe a few points. That's what this segment is for. Who's in and who's out. So I don't know what the guys' picks are, but I'll let Mr. Davon Elder go first. Mr. Davon Elder, who's invited to the cookout?
Man, guys, I believe I've invited him before, man, but I just really like this guy, man. I really like this guy a lot, man. Kenneth Walker III, man. Kenneth Walker III, man, is invited to the cookout, man. Like, he's just a back, man. He's just one of the NFL backs, man, that you old school, man. He's gonna run the ball 20 times. He's gonna get you over 100 yards. That's just what he's gonna do. And I'm looking forward to, hopefully he has a good career. Hopefully we can have, great fantasy years together, in the future. I hope that we can continue to do this, man. Like, Kenneth Walker III, you are definitely that guy that needs to come to the cookout, man. Now, a guy that I believe needs to be kicked out of the cookout, and I believe this guy probably needs to retire from the NFL at this point.
Whoa, damn.
Adam Thielen. Adam Thielen, you need to leave the cookout, man. You need to leave the cookout. I mean,
he's not leave the cookout, leave the league.
yeah, man. You need to leave the cookout. You need to leave the league. It's just time to go, man. Like, you guys already got embarrassed by Green Bay. Now, when I saw that line, I saw the line of this game. Green Bay was favored by 3.5. They were at home, mind you. I was like, dang, like this line right here. I guess Vegas knew something that we didn't know. And the Vikings definitely laid down. And, Thielen couldn't do anything in this game. The number one receiver for the Vikings, Justin Jefferson, he couldn't do anything in this game. But Thielen, man, come on, man. Look, man, put it like this, man. This is what I'm gonna say, and this is all I'm gonna say. Your best years are behind you, not ahead of you.
Whoa. Let's do this properly. Let's do this properly. Mr. Adam Thielen. And this is from fantasydata.com, one of my favorite sites to get fantasy information from. Adam Thielen.
This man got all the cheat codes. See that, Vaughn?
6'2", 200 pounds, 9th season in the league. So, hey, he's 3 times the average, lifespan of a person in the league. So he's done pretty well for himself. But he's our age. And that's the problem. 32. I think he's getting close. And he's from Minnesota State. I don't even know what the fuck that is. Yeah.
It must be like a D3 school, maybe.
Yeah, I think so.
I guess so. I ain't never heard of him before. But, nice he's in the league, drafted in 2013. Let's look at Adam Thielen, season logs, he's averaged, his best season of points was 2018, it looks like.
Oh, no points.
Yeah. 194. And where he was averaging 12.1 points per game. That was his best season. 2018, right here. In that season, 113 receptions out of 155 targets, for 1373 and 9 touchdowns. Not bad.
Yeah. He had
Yeah.
back-to-back. He had back-to-back greater than the 1,000-yard
That's
receiving years.
But that was 2017 to 2018. That shit was 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And ever since then, it's just gone downhill because this was the Stephon Diggs years, I'm pretty sure, in 2019, 2020. And then Justin Jefferson came in last year in 2021 and took it over. So, I mean, his best years are behind him. You are correct, Vaughn. Statistically,
he had a decent year last year, though. 132 points. That ain't bad.
Yeah, but that whole 10.2, 10.2 is on the decline.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I got you.
He had double the amount of touchdowns last year too.
Yeah.
Which definitely helped him out a lot. Yeah. But I mean, he only got one more reception in this season. And he only got one more reception in this season, and he played an additional 3 more games. He only got one additional reception, played an additional 3 games, and only got an additional 9 more targets, less receiving yards, less touchdowns,
and less points per game. 6.4. 6.4.
Less yards per reception. Nothing.
Yeah. This is his lowest point total since 2015, his sophomore season in the league.
So third lowest in his career.
Yeah. So Vaughn said it accurately. It's time to go home.
Yeah, man. It's time to go, man.
I ain't gonna say that. I ain't gonna say he trash. But he definitely on the back nine. He on the back nine, that's for sure.
Look. He's had a respectable career, but it's time to go, man. It's time to go.
I'm sure it knows better like Julio Jones because it's definitely time for him to go.
Man, you're 32 years old, man. Got your whole life ahead of you, man.
Your life just getting started.
I know you probably got a family. I mean, dude, you can go do whatever you want to do, man. Dude, you can go start a podcast. You can do anything.
You can do anything.
Right.
Anything you want, man.
Anything's possible. All right, Marque. Enough trashing Adam Thielen and telling him to go to the retirement home. Marque, who you invite to the cookout?
This guy I'm about to invite, he played second fiddle for this team most of the season, but every week he got better and better and better, and now he's the number one receiver in this team, and that's Brandon Ayuk for the 49ers.
All right.
We all know that the number one receiver in this team is Deebo Samuel. But Deebo Samuel, as we all know, he's hurt or nursing an injury. He can come back, but they waiting for the playoffs to bring him back. But since then, Brandon has stepped up. Like Brock Purdy seemed to be his favorite quarterback because Brock Purdy loves giving him the ball, and he delivers. He catches the ball and scores touchdowns. So Brandon Ayuk, for me, next year, probably for y'all too, he's on my priority list. Look at.
So he's on I'll draft him again list.
Yeah. So if he's available, I'm gonna take him. I'm just gonna be honest with you. All right. Now who I'm kicking out the cookout? I want to say I didn't really have too many players in my team who were just begging to be kicked out, but you know what? I think it's time. I think Chris, you may keep this man out before. But I think I might have to. I don't want to do this, but I might have to put him to pasture, and that's Antonio Gibson.
Ooh, Antonio Gibson.
He kind of saved me this year, though, so I kind of got a soft spot for him because I got to a spot where I didn't have any running backs, and somebody left him in the waiver wire. I guess they stopped. I think Chris may have him and stopped believing in him, so I picked him up, and he produced for me because he was a pass catching back. Because I thought Brian Ross would come in and just take all his shine, but it didn't happen that way. So he still was able to shine. But lately, man, he can't stay on the field, man. He just keeps getting hurt. Like I think lately he hurt his knee and his groin in the last game. So he's out again.
Yeah, he's got a foot and knee injury.
Yeah. So I think at this point, man, it's the Brian Robinson show. they're not going to make the playoffs, so it's over for them anyway. But I feel like they would have had a better shot if he could have stayed healthy.
Yeah, I mean, last year he had a 1,000-yard season. I mean,
yeah,
he averaged 11.7 fantasy points. I mean, he was doing good. I mean, now this season, Brian Robinson's in, and he's averaging 8 fantasy points per game, and he only got 546 yards this season.
Yeah, I mean, he's a serviceable backup running back on your roster, so he can still be your bench. Need somebody to come in later on, to spare your running back for a week. He's the perfect guy for that. Or if you one of them guys that don't like to draft running backs, like draft all the quarterbacks and receivers, and do your running backs last, he might be a decent option at the end if he's available.
True.
But due to his injury proneness to these last few weeks, I'm gonna have to kick Antonio Gibson now. Hate to do it, he's not kicked out totally out of my draft sequence, but he kicked out for this year.
Bye, buddy. You ain't doing Davon saying
no, I ain't doing
Davon.
I did let the man get it to go play. So I did let him get the go play. Yeah.
With the aluminum foil over it, said
aluminum foil over, yeah. No, I even gave him with the top with the styrofoam lid on. So I gave him the real plate.
This is a real question. Did you give him a piece of that red velvet cake on the way out?
Yeah, he got a small piece. He got a sliver.
Okay. Just a little taste. You got a little taste.
Let him know I did appreciate it. All he did for me. But when you got
blessed with that.
Yeah, we gotta go. You gotta go. Yep.
Respect. All right, and I'll do the last ones. I got a twofer. Now, one of these guys on this podcast don't believe in this cat anymore. He previously kicked him out, but you know what I did? I stuck him back in. I let him in through the back gate and told him just keep your head low. Just stay on the other side of the yard. I'll give you a plate with some ribs on it, some taters, all that good stuff. and that person that I'm invited back into the cookout through the back door is Mike Evans. Mr. Mike Evans, come on down. You were wide receiver 1 this week. Finally, for all those who drafted you super early and probably not playing in the fantasy playoffs, you finally showed up. It's like all these players just want to show up at the end. It's like, it's too late, man. It's too late.
Too late.
And I'm talking about you, DeAndre Swift. Yes, DeAndre Swift. I'm talking about you. But Mike Evans, 12 targets, 10 catches, 207 yards, 3 touchdowns. He got 38.7 fantasy points. And one, depending on what your scoring is like, but fantasy data, 38.7. Yeah, I mean, that's an impressive game. I mean, Brady, I guess he just let his nuts hang. I mean, that's the only thing I can say. We saw the film earlier in the show. He just flown that thing. And Mike Evans just met the DB who just wanted to get abused the whole game. So Henderson, I'm sorry. You got embarrassed. You probably got looked at on tape all week. You're gonna be the talk of the tape. You're just gonna be like, just don't do like Henderson did. You see this? 5-yard spacing.
Right.
And then my second person that I'm inviting, I did not believe in this cat. I drafted him, and I had to play him the whole season. And now he finally wants to show up. He's been hurt all season. He's been playing through it. I can give him that. But he was not giving me good fantasy numbers like I drafted him. I drafted him as my number 1 running back. But he was definitely giving me low-end running back 2 numbers every week until this last about 2 weeks or so. He finally stepped up. And I'm talking about you, Mr. 22, Mr. Roll Tide, Mr. Najee Harris. Come on down to the cookout, man.
Come on down.
I got a little bit more hope to you.
I got a real plate for you.
Yeah, I got a real plate for you. I ain't got to sneak around with this one. You've been showing up these last few weeks, and I'm very proud to say, hey, I drafted you towards the end. It's gonna be tough for me to draft you again, but we will see. I have to do my calculations, check the data, all that stuff. So, Najee Harris, you're invited back into the cookout. But
Hold on. Before you go next one.
What up?
Next season, Miles Sanders or Najee Harris?
Oh, Najee Harris. Miles Sanders is I think he's
Miles
about
Sanders?
done.
You sure?
Yeah.
This is what I'm gonna say, and then this is just for me. Najee Harris and Miles Sanders, they're both on my draft radar for next year. Both of them. They both can be drafted for me.
Miles Sanders can burn. No, I know I'm not drafting. I can't trust him, man. I can't have one. I got other season data, man, that tells me no. He had a good season. That's probably
his feelings. His other data is his feelings, and I understand that one.
Yeah, they just feeling. He had a Jalen this year, so
yeah.
I can't.
Can't. It's okay, man.
Right. If I pick him up,
hey.
If I grab him, he trade bait. You know that. If I pick him up, so
okay, respect. But let's go on to the guy who I'm kicking out. Now, this guy, I drafted him as my wide receiver too. And the first few weeks, he decides to show up. He does his thing, respectfully. You know, he gives me, 19. He gives me 11 on the first week, 19 on the second week, 13 on the third week. And then he disappears for a while. He gets about 10 fantasy points in week 7. And then I still got to start him because I'm like, hey, they pay him all this money. They're going to play him, right? He's going to be the number 1 guy, right? Nah. And he comes back in week 9 to week 10. 13, 22 fantasy points, respectfully. Goes quiet again. So he turned into a boom bust. Then these last few weeks, it's just gone downhill. Because you know what happened? The Zay Jones effect happened. The Zay Jones effect. And the Evan Ingram effect. It seems like, Mr. Trevor Lawrence, or T-Law is like they like to call it in the fantasy world. Mr. T-Law had only eyes for Zay Jones and Evan Ingram. But he forgot about his boy, the one they paid from Arizona, Cardinals. And everybody knows who I'm talking about by now. Mr. Christian Kirk, get your ass out of here. Because you weren't worth a red nickel of what anything. You weren't worth a fucking wooden nickel of anything.
Damn,
you suck. You fucking sucked. You were not wide receiver 2. You got my hopes up most of the weeks. You only had, let's see how many double digits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 double-digit fantasy.
That's half the season, man. That's half the season, man.
But when he let me down, and not gently, very roughly.
Oh,
this man let me down hard. And so I get it. You're still getting paid. You got a nice little healthy contract. And that's cool and all. But as for me and my fantasy prospects for next year and my, drafting, I'm done with you. This dude made? You want me to pop it up? You know what this dude made this year?
Well, let's see.
I hope he made more than Scantling did.
Woo.
4-year, $72 million contract.
Woo. Yeah, it looked like he was roll hard and put up with.
He got double the money with a little bit longer contract. Way over.
Yeah, I mean, this is what I will say. I will say that Christian Kirk, you want to be careful drafting him next year because Calvin Ridley's coming to town, and Calvin Ridley might be able to, do some things. You got Trevor Lawrence right there. You're gonna have Evan Ingram. You got Zay Jones. You got Travis Etienne out of the backfield. You're gonna have some weapons, and Calvin Ridley will probably be the number 1 receiver for the Jacksonville Jaguars if I had to make an assessment right now.
Well, Evan Ingram's on a 1-year contract, so they got to re-sign him.
Oh, he'll get re-signed.
Oh yeah. We'll see what they decide to do. Jacksonville. Look, this is the thing. Jacksonville might end up winning the division because they've had this strong this strong surge at the end of the season. But Jacksonville, they've got to have a good draft this year. They've got to have a good draft, and they've got to draft some key pieces if they want to continue this momentum and actually be competitive and actually be considered a contender in the AFC. You got to capitalize on this young talent and the momentum that you've got. You got to capitalize on it.
Yeah, he needs some defense.
Preach. Yeah, but hey, Evan got a 1 year, $9 million contract. Let's see what he can do with these last few games when he went off. Let's see what he can capitalize and see if he can get another $9 million contract. Be nice. You probably get a 2-year deal. Would be my expectation.
Mm-hmm.
But let's move on to our topics. Knock these out so we can get this podcast on the road. Topics of the week. Now, I brought this up during the week with the Cookout crew, and I saw it on ESPN. I thought it'd be interesting. Now, Jaire Alexander, cornerback for the Green Bay Packers, talking mad trash to Justin Jefferson, the phenom for the Minnesota Vikings, saying that he got lucky in their first matchup this season, where Justin Jefferson went outrageously crazy, bananas. So, with that, he had to back up his smack talk. And, well, it looks like he kind of did, because Justin Jefferson only had 1 reception for 15 yards this whole game. Now, my question to you guys, does Jaire Alexander deserve the full credit for shutting down Justin Jefferson? Or was it just poor quarterback play from Kirk Cousins?
Yes, he deserves full credit.
Ooh.
I think Alexander, I think he's the best corner in the league. So
fair.
Best corner in the league.
Yes, best corner in the league.
Ooh.
I think he deserves this. Yeah, because Kirk Cousins may have bad play, but you know why he had bad play? Because Alexander couldn't get the ball. Because he could get the ball. Alexander was always there. That's why. If he could get it to him, he would throw it to him. And if he did throw it to him, he got blocked, got knocked down. So, yeah, I'm gonna get Jaire Alexander. I'm gonna give it to him. Like I said, personally, I think he's the best corner in the league, and I don't think it's close.
Now, see, the reason why he backed that up because Justin Jefferson had, 184 yards and 2 touchdowns in their first matchup.
Yeah.
So,
Deion Sanders got beat too, and he in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
So, and for him to back it up, for him to call him out before the game and then see it through. That's you got my respect, man.
Hey, he had dog in him.
These grown men, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, he stepped up. I will give him that. He stepped up. Let's look at just a little bit of the play. Because I just brought up this, just to show what happened in this slaughter. And you see down here, they talk about his stats from week 1. 11 targets, 9 receptions for 184 yards and 2 touchdowns. But let's look at this. Let's look at one play. There's Jaire Alexander lined up. You see old Curdy Cousins being trashy. And there we go. Oh, man, come on now. Look at there. All over him. And then he does the greedy on him with the disrespect. Disrespect.
I love it.
And it didn't get any better the whole game, as you saw.
Sure didn't. And
actually, Jaire Alexander covered him a large percentage more in this game compared to the last game. They were doing more man, and Jaire stayed on Justin Jefferson most of the game. So
right.
I can agree with that point. Vaughn, what do you think? Does he deserve the credit?
Hey, guys, I'm gonna tell you this right here, man. And this is why I struggle with the Minnesota Vikings. 3 games I want to highlight about the Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota Vikings versus Philadelphia Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
Minnesota Vikings versus Dallas Cowboys. Minnesota Vikings versus Green Bay Packers. The Vikings got beat pretty badly early in the season, 24-7. Darius Slay, pretty much manhandled Justin Jefferson. Didn't do too much in that game. Cowboys, 40-3 at home. Justin Jefferson didn't do too much in that game.
Let me guess. Trayvon Diggs.
Trayvon Diggs, primary defender, and recently as this past Sunday, Green Bay Packers 41-17, one reception. So Justin Jefferson, he's had a good fantasy season. I mean, he's put up a lot of good numbers, but against the best teams, against potential playoff teams, he has left a lot to be desired against some tough DBs. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that you really have to consider. It's like you really have to question, can he go up against the best guys in the league? And I just don't know. Because I don't get me wrong, Kirk Cousins isn't the best quarterback out there. You know what I'm saying? But the entire team did struggle. Hence why I had to kick Adam Thielen out of the cookout, because he didn't do anything either. In those other two games I highlighted, he didn't do nothing either. Right. I mean, nobody was doing anything from the receiving core. And when we talk about the Minnesota Vikings, so I'm telling you, man, Justin Jefferson, man, he's getting locked up. He's getting locked up by the best corners in the league right now. If you look at the games, you look at what Minnesota has done. They've not played well against the best competition at all.
Fair. Well, let's just put it this way. When the best corners play man on Justin Jefferson, they lock him down. That fair?
That's embarrassing to lock down a man, too, by the way.
Yeah.
It's one thing you get coverage and scheme, dog, but in man, I mean, that's dog on dog.
So. But that's the thing, though, man. It's like, I'm telling you, guys that had Justin Jefferson on their team, they had the second guess. They had to say, man, he's going up against Sauce Gardner this week. Do I really want to play him?
Yeah.
It's got you questioning now.
Right.
And he's going up against Darius Slay. Yeah, there's some hard questions to ask, but then it's like, that's your dog, right? Because he's going to be projected to be probably number 1 or 2 overall pick in next year's draft.
Yeah. Look, man, look, the Vikings, look, man, this is what I'm going to say, guys. If I have the opportunity to draft him, I'm going to draft him. Okay, trust me, I'm going to draft him.
Because you're saying, yes.
Because there's only so many lockdown corners in the league. There's only so many of them. So you're not going to go up against them every Sunday. But when you start talking about the competitiveness and all-time grades and things of that nature, you're going to get reduced on the all-time great list when you can't perform best against the best players. That's what we're talking about pretty much here.
Agreed.
All right. Fair. Now comes the question. And me and Vaughn has some ties to this player. This player went to the university, not of Alabama, but Auburn University. And he played his butt off this past week for the Raiders. I mean, he did that. I mean, he played like his rent was due the next day, and he needed a check. Yeah, Jarrett Stidham played like his life depended on it. And he let his nuts hang. Like I said, the stats before, 23-34, 365, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions against one of the best defenses in the league, in the 49ers. So here's my question. Does Jarrett Stidham, deserve a shot to be the starting QB for the Raiders next year after the impressive performance against the 49ers? And I'll add this on. What if he shows out next week? I don't even know who the Raiders play next week.
They play Kansas City.
What if he shows out against Kansas City? It makes it like a real competitive game.
Does he deserve a shot? Just for that game he did Sunday? No. But if he does that again against the Kansas City, then yes, but he needs to win the game. It's hard to put numbers up. He's already put numbers up, but if you ain't winning, I mean, you ain't doing no better than what Carr was doing. Because Carr can put up stats, they just want to win.
True.
So until he wins the game, I'm just gonna say no. But he is showing flashes that he could potentially be the starting quarterback. But is he your best option?
I mean, is there a better option?
Or is the kid in the draft can be your best option?
I mean, this guy already knows the offense. That's the one big thing about Jarrett Stidham.
I got it.
Because the Patriots win.
I'm sure he's cheap too. But I don't know what the Raiders want to do. So if Raiders got him, then he got him cheap. Then possibly, because then maybe you can get some picks back because they need some picks.
Look at this play, beautiful, just beautiful. Darren Waller finally getting able to do an actual move in the end zone. When have you seen that? Not this season.
But to Carr's defense, man, Waller hadn't been healthy this whole season. So
yep.
Waller hadn't played a lot. So if you had Waller on your team for fantasy, I'm sorry. Because I'm sure it was terrible numbers this year compared to last year.
Davante Adams doing Davante Adams things. Look at this.
So
look at that offensive line stepping up finally. Look at that throw. Going up there. Darren Waller again. Doing the thing.
The one thing, the one thing I'll say, man, is that Marque, you're right. Derek Carr did not have Darren Waller, but at the same time, man, he had arguably one of the best receivers in the game in Davante Adams. He had Davante Adams, and he had one of the best running backs statistic wise in Josh Jacobs. Like he had weapons and he had talent around.
Yeah, but only thing though, but when you have Davante Adams, yeah, he's your key number one receiver. But
look at that.
If you don't have a compliment to him, then I mean, you can just double him all day long. That's why it's so hard he was getting the end zone.
Davante Adams.
But when you actually got Waller out there making catches and doing touchdowns, all right, it's a dual threat in the receiving game. Because we know when Carr was playing, they did a lot of passing to the running back. They had to throw it to Jacob. Because they didn't have another threat.
What was that?
I was like, man, but Davante Adams, man, he's so good, man.
Oh no, he's great, but it's just like he was at Green Bay, man. But at Green Bay, he had other options. They had Tunyon, they had Lazard, so they weren't just him. So when you got the focal point of other people, it's easy for your number one guy to get open. But when there's nobody else out there, I mean, I'm just gonna double your number one man. You got to beat him with the other 10.
You want to see something? You want to see
with him.
Hey, you want to see the play that showed me that Stidham had the dog in him?
What's that?
Let me go show you this play real quick. I had to go and find it. This was played. Okay, let's back it up just a little bit. Just a little bit. All right, that was Waller. He had just caught it. Here it goes. Right here, Stidham rolling out, took the hit, wide open. Davante Adams, burning. Look at that, taking the hit. Took the hit. Knew he was about to get his ass taken to the cleaners. Boom.
And he just delivered it, man. He just delivered it
right in his hands.
Just delivered it, man.
Like a newborn baby. I don't mind. Who's just gonna stop. But yeah, I think if I'm on the other end. I think if they make it competitive and he actually plays it close like they played against the 49ers, I think they should give him at least a year to try out.
No. Jeff McDaniels got time for you to try out. I don't think he got that kind of time.
Who else you got?
I'll take go to draft, man. Go give me a quarterback.
Nah.
Go give me one. I want to build my team. Let me just build my team.
Well, Devontae Adams' contract. I mean, look, you already got somebody who knows the offense.
It's true.
It's gonna take a rookie. It's gonna take at least mid-season, if not longer, to get comfortable with it.
Maybe
you get a Pat Mahomes, but what's the likelihood you get a Pat Mahomes, man?
I mean, Pat Mahomes didn't play his first season.
No, he didn't. Mm-hmm. But he still had that talent. I mean, but what's the likelihood? Very small percentage, I'm gonna say. Very, very low percentage. Like you could draft a quarterback, but I would say keep Stidham in as a starter. And if you start seeing some flashes of greatness, maybe in the practice, maybe you throw him in, during the game just to see, what he can do.
I feel like still gonna have that Tannehill effect. He gonna come in, play good for a season, and you don't know what you get from the next season.
True.
But it's between him and Tannehill. Tannehill did get the start in Miami. When he was a rookie. Stidham didn't get a chance at all because he went to Auburn. So, but I will say I was impressed with. I mean, Stidham looked good now. I ain't stupid. You know what I'm saying? he looked good. So like, honestly, if I was a GM, he would get a strong look. He get a strong look,
especially if he plays.
If he can play it out, then
the Chiefs
I give him a strong look. I give him a strong look, but then I have to go back to wonder like why he ain't played all this time. You know what I'm saying? So
fair. All right, let's move on to the. Yeah, I mean, we kind of talked about Brock Purdy. We gotta all agree.
We did with Purdy.
Yeah, we talked about him. He deserves a job next year. So
yeah,
Jimmy G, Trey Lance, just get your bags packed. You ain't gonna be there much longer. Brock Purdy took your. He did the Bledsoe. He did the Bledsoe.
Yeah, but Trey Lance. But the thing about Trey Lance though, somebody pick him up. You know what I'm saying? Somebody pick him up now. Garoppolo, he'll be a backup role, or if they need a starter now, they might sign him, something like that. But
hey, maybe Garoppolo goes to the Raiders.
It's possible.
The great Keith Sweat said, "Hey, I'm not going to be here for long."
Right.
I'm not going to be here for long.
Right. He did say that.
Here for a good time, not a long time.
Right.
Yeah, man. They got to figure something out. Those guys are going to have to figure something out. I don't think Garoppolo is would be the answer in over in Las Vegas. I think me personally,
he'd be a Band-Aid.
Yeah, he would be, man. Jarrett Stidham, man. Like I said, man, when I think about Jarrett Stidham, man, like 2017 SEC West champion, man. That Auburn team, man. I really like that Auburn team, man.
Bet you did.
Kerryon Johnson. But Kerryon got hurt right there in that Bama game, man. Man, I remember it like it was yesterday, man. Ronnie Harrison hit him.
Oh yeah,
Ronnie Harrison hit him, man. Had that shoulder because he had to play Georgia and Alabama back-to-back weeks, and then he had to play Georgia again the SEC championship game. We were just too banged up.
Because we were like, what we gonna do about it? You played the top five. It was like the top 3 team or top 2 team twice in a row.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
We just couldn't handle it. But when I think about the Raiders, man, what they need to do, I was looking at some early projections, and the Raiders are projected now to draft Will Levis at the 7th spot. Now I'm gonna tell you this right here, guys. There's only 3 quarterbacks that I care about in this draft. Number 1, Bryce Young. Number 2, CJ Stroud. And number 3, a guy that's not going to be drafted high, but he's a dog, Hendon Hooker. Hendon Hooker, quarterback out of Tennessee. With all that being
I ain't expect you to say that one.
With all that being said, the Raiders will be making a horrible mistake if they drafted Will Levis. So what they should do is give Jarrett Stidham a shot. See what he can do. and go from there. That's what I would do, because they're not going
to
be able
to do what Chris said. Then? Why don't they just draft a quarterback and they had that Stidham start?
They could. I mean, they could do that. But this is what I'm gonna tell you. I wouldn't draft a quarterback in the first round. I wouldn't do that. I would not draft. Look, NFL teams do not draft Will Levis. I know you are. You know what I'm saying? You guys are going.
He's gonna be gone first round.
You know what I'm saying? Like I know. You know, I don't know anything. I'm just a guy. I'm just a guy here. You know, I don't know anything. But don't draft that guy. But you know, he's gonna get drafted high. But Raiders, you don't need to make the mistake and do it. Don't do it. Wait to the second round, wait to the third round, see what you can get, and then kind of go from there. Do it like that. Draft you a dog on the defensive side. You know, yeah, that's really what you need is really some defensive help. I mean, let's just be honest. Defensive help. So draft you some dogs on the defensive side, and then wait to get quarterback in later rounds.
Yeah. And the thing about Levis too is, man, he was on all cylinders. Like last season, he should have went pro last season. Because last season, you know, that's when they had that great season. I think they won like 10 games in Kentucky. And he was on fire. Then he came back for senior season. He wanted to boost his NFL stock. I don't think he really worked out for him, man. I think midway through the season, man, he kind of regressed a little bit. But the NFL pundits, man, they love him, man. They love his size. The thing they like his size. That's what they're in love with.
That's the thing.
He a big Josh Allen type quarterback. I think he's like 6'5". So he's a big quarterback. And Peyton Manning loves him too. Peyton Manning loves him.
Talking about Will Levis?
Yeah. How tall is he?
He's 6'3", 232, according to ESPN.
Yeah, he a big kid. So Peyton Manning loves Will Levis. Peyton Manning said himself, like, if he was the GM of the Broncos, he would draft Will Levis. The advantage of Will Levis, though, I think with the other quarterback, just to play devil's advocate, I think he does have some adversity, and he's played a lot of games, so he's seen a lot. So he's seen the high and the low. Versus like Bryce Young, CJ Stroud has always been good. you know,
Hayden Hooker's the same situation. I mean,
Hooker's the same way, but Hooker's hurt, so Hooker's out with an ACL injury. That's his only downfall with him.
Hey, that could be a perfect. Hey, that could be a perfect discount.
Honestly, I would still draft Hooker first round, and just have him sit behind somebody until he get well.
Mm-hmm.
That's
a good discount. Hey, because you can probably get him lower because people would be like, you know,
maybe because this draft, this receiver, this quarterback draft, I think it's actually kind of deep this season compared to last season. I think there's a lot of like other quarterbacks coming out too, for some other teams. Like Max Duggan, he's gonna be coming out. Then the quarterback at Michigan gonna be coming out. I mean, I don't think Georgia's quarterback is gonna be drafted, but he's coming out too, I'm sure.
So here's the current. Yeah, this is gonna get fun. See, this is the stuff we're gonna be talking about all season, guys. It's gonna get just a little taste. Yeah, this is just a little tangent right now. But we're just gonna give you a little taste. This is the current NFL 2023 draft order right now. Yeah, Houston, Chicago. You know, Denver, but gotta give it up to Seattle because that Russell Wilson trade.
Mm-hmm.
So they lost that pick. Arizona, Indianapolis. Projected top 5. So Chicago doesn't need a quarterback. They got Justin Fields. Seattle might have some, I think they're gonna sign a deal with Geno.
Yeah, they're not paying him quarterback.
Yeah. Arizona, they still got, they're gonna see what Kyler is gonna do. Indianapolis needs one. Houston needs one. Sure. Yeah, these two are the top teams that need one. Right here in this top 5. Atlanta needs one.
Right.
Carolina, you probably need one too.
They need one too.
New Orleans, you need one. But New Orleans ain't gonna get it because they gave it up to Philly in a trade. Yep. So
Philly need to get some defense.
So man, I don't want to ruin, our post fantasy football, season conversation because this is what we're gonna be talking about. Like, what, team could you see picking, the Hayden Hooker, because I think Bryce Young is gonna be right here.
Yeah, Stroud can go next.
Yeah, so Stroud could go to right here, Indianapolis.
But you know what though, Indianapolis might pick up Will Levis. They just feel like.
Wouldn't it be interesting if Atlanta picked up Hayden Hooker?
They won't. They ain't got the balls to pick him up.
Man, what if Atlanta, man, what if Atlanta got CJ Stroud?
I can see that. I couldn't get CJ Stroud. I don't think they'll pick a hooker.
Man, I'm telling you, I'm telling you, man, Atlanta.
Dude, either one of those, that'd be crazy.
I need Atlanta. You know what I'm saying?
I'll be honest with you. I wish Atlanta just go trade with Baltimore and get Tyler Huntley. Get the backup quarterback.
No, man, no. No.
Just one season, man.
No, man,
I was with you until you brought that up.
No. That is not what they need to do. No.
Come on, man. Just one season, man.
Look, man, dude. Look, that's more of a slow and painful death. Like that's a slow and painful death because now you're adding in another problem at quarterback. So now you got another year you got to deal with this BS. Another year you're dealing with BS. Like,
but
get CJ Stroud, Atlanta. Just go get CJ Stroud.
He's fun to watch, man. He'd be fun to watch.
Nah, bro.
Tyler Huntley, no.
He's a backup. He's where he needs to be. He is where he needs to be. He's in his place.
Are they suck it up? Just go look, trade Ritter, trade Mariota, and just get Lamar Jackson. We'll give him his deal he wants.
Look, if the Baltimore Ravens wet the bed, if they wet the bed and they did not re-sign Lamar Jackson and Arthur Blank got a rabbit out of the hat and was able to get him, that's what they should do.
Ooh,
they should get Lamar Jackson.
Boy.
That's the quarterback that they need from the Baltimore Ravens.
If Atlanta got Lamar Jackson, oh my God. Look. I diss Atlanta Falcons fans and the whole organization every time I go to a client. But if they get Lamar Jackson, and that's highly unlikely. But if it happens, I'm getting me a Jackson jersey day of.
Oh yeah,
special order. I'm buying a jersey. Like I'm not even a jersey person, but I'll buy me a damn jersey. I'll wear the shit out of that.
Right. It ain't gonna happen though. That's why I went for the next best option. Huntley.
Man,
honestly, Atlanta needs a Jalen Hurts. They need a dual threat. That's what they need.
Yeah, but Atlanta just don't know.
They won't do it though, man. They won't do it.
They don't want nice things. We always go through that. Like, and you got to think about this. This is the other topic that we're gonna talk about. I mean, Daniel Jones is gonna get signed to a long deal contract. How crazy does that sound?
It ain't crazy. It's not crazy. Cause I think he's just what they want. He does just enough. He ain't gonna do too much. And the offense that he runs, and the offense that they kind of run, that's kind of what they looking for. They just need a what they call that's another name for a serviceable quarterback.
A manager?
They need a game manager. That's exactly what they need. They need a game manager. That's all they need. Because they're doing everything off their running game anyway. You think about it. Can you really name a productive receiver for the Giants?
Here we go.
Like one.
Four seasons.
Nobody's drafting the Giants receiver on purpose.
He said on purpose.
I mean, the Giants, you just go kind of use them as the Giants remind me like the old Alabama teams, like 09 to like 12, 13. Mm-hmm. It was a bunch of guys on the team, but it wasn't like one person that was like spectacular, you know? Okay. Yeah, you had guys who were good, who had good seasons. But like it wasn't just the overgland, we're gonna go to this guy. Everything, the whole game was managed with everybody on the team. Kind of like how Georgia is now, actually. Georgia's that way.
Okay. Fair. I mean, looking at Daniel Jones' stats, I mean, he has been consistent.
Yeah.
He's been pretty, not bad, not great, but not bad. But do you think they're going to sign a long-term deal?
Yeah, he'll get a long-term deal. He's not going to get like a Lamar Jackson deal. But I'm saying he'll get a 4-year deal. For sure.
I mean, if he beats Philly, he's definitely gonna get paid.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, if he beats Philly this week, he's gonna get paid.
Yeah.
That's
If
the
he can
bonus
lock
right
it up,
there.
he getting paid.
Because it is nice. That's a segue because we were talking about this is the last segment, week 18 games, and that's my game of the week: Giants at Eagles. So a lot of implications in this game actually, and like that was one of the things I pointed out in my notes is that Daniel Jones is winning this week could solidify his large contract that's coming up. They'll add like a few million more, to it if he can show that he can be a contender, a Super Bowl contending team.
Yeah.
With what he has. And then like another thing that Daniel Jones is gonna get, he's gonna get some more weapons because they got rid of Kadarius Toney. They got, they barely got any receiving core because they all hurt for the most part. I mean, really had just Saquon and a good defense.
But look where they are. It's
I know, that's crazy, right? So if you get like actual, maybe you get a rookie wide receiver that's one of those hidden talents because you see how the rookie wide receivers do, and then maybe you can find a veteran to kind of help him up.
It's when you get Odell. He willing to come back.
Interesting take.
Yeah.
Odell going back to the Giants.
Yep, he can retire there.
I mean, he's already got a ring, so it ain't much else he's got to worry about, right?
Yeah. He can come back home. That's what I would do. And you'll sell jerseys, sell tickets. Win-win for everybody.
True that. Okay, I can see that take.
Yeah. This is really kind of how I feel about Daniel Jones. I feel that Daniel Jones, like he had his best year ever fantasy wise, and I believe that he can continue to do that. But he had that good fantasy year due to his running ability. He had 7 rushing touchdowns this year, and so the only thing that I have to say negatively about Daniel Jones is that I believe in totality, the problem with Daniel Jones is that I don't believe that he's good enough to make them a legitimate Super Bowl contender. But at the same time, he's good enough to where he's not going to have them in the low lives. They're not going to be the low lives. They're not going to be out of the playoffs. So they're pretty much going to be middle of the road. So when I look at Daniel Jones, I look at him as a quarterback that's in the same category as a Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins, he's going to give you good statistics, but he's not going to put you in a position to where you actually think that, hey, man, I can win a Super Bowl with this guy.
Hey, but you know what Kirk Cousins is? He getting paid. Kirk Cousins got paid.
He got a great agent, man.
Kirk Cousins has gotten a multitude. He's gotten a multitude of contracts.
From Washington to the first deal in the Vikings to the second deal with the Vikings. Yes,
and we don't know why. It's the crazy part.
He's finessed the system, man.
Jeez.
From going from backup to RG3 to getting paid out the ass. He got more stats than RG3.
Well, I mean, he knows he know when it's time to perform. Like he's figured it out. Like he know going in because you know what he does. He ripped his contract before his contract year is up. He do it a year before. Have a great season year before your contract's up. Go on and take the deal that the team gonna give you.
True that.
So then you ain't got to worry about trying to perform or get franchise tag. I'm gonna take the hometown discount. You can pay me now. So
Bet.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Now it's y'all's turn to pick. We talked about the season Raiders. You got Titans Jaguars. You got Ravens Bengals. That's a big game. Browns Steelers. Vikings Bears. Patriots Bills. Same division, but it doesn't really matter because Patriots is basically out. Jets Dolphins just for funsies. Buccaneers Falcons. Would have been nice if Falcons wanted nice things. Panthers Saints. Texans Colts. Cardinals 49ers. Cowboys Commanders. Rams, Seahawks, Giants, Eagles, which is already what I talked about. Chargers, Broncos, and Lions, Packers. That's gonna be a shootout right here. I see that game being a shootout. So who y'all got, man? I went down to. It's gonna be a lot of Saturday games and a lot of Sunday games this week. Well, just one. It's just 2 Saturday games. Got a couple Saturday games and mostly Sunday.
I like that Lions game. I think it's gonna be interesting because they both need to win.
Yeah.
So, it's perfect on a Sunday night NFL. They couldn't have picked a better Sunday night game because this game's gonna matter.
Yep, it's gonna mean a lot. Aaron Rodgers telling everybody to chill out. He still got the juice. Christian Watson. Hopefully he gets to play. Hopefully he gets to take the risk and gets to play. Aaron Jones, unfortunately, will get to play. So will AJ Dillon because they vulture each other's touches, and you just can't win with either one of them.
And I expect the Lions to win the game.
I can see that. Jared Goff.
I feel like the Lions are due. Because if they can win this game, I mean, technically they probably would prefer to lose this game. They keep a decent draft pick. They draft status.
Yeah.
Because they got the pieces, man. They just need some defense. They got plenty of offense.
True that.
They just need some either pick up some offensive linemen up front to block for Jarrett, or get somebody on the get some corners or some linemen. But I'm pulling for the Lions, man. I think they do, man. They need. I feel like Detroit needs something good to go well. Okay. So I'm gonna pull for Detroit. That's my game of the week.
All right. D-Town. All right, D-Town. All right, Vaughn. Who you got, man? You're looking over there, looking hard at the list.
You know what, man? I'm going to give you guys another game of the week, okay? But at the same time, I just want to say something crazy. And I just want to, get some hot takes. I just want to get some hot takes. The Packers, Lions and Packers, being at home at Green Bay, it's probably going to be cold up there. The Detroit, they used to play in the cold. The Packers, man, dude, they're picking at the right time, man, guys. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you, man. These guys have been playing pretty well over the last second half of the season. This is what I'm going to say, guys. And hey, anybody that watches the Fantasy Cookout, come at me, okay? Come at me, bro. You know what I'm saying? After this pick, I'm going to say the Packers are going to win this game. I'm going to say the Packers are going to play the Vikings in the first round. And I'm going to say that the Packers are going to beat the Vikings again on their home turf. That is what I'm going to say is going to happen with that particular game. Guys, the game that I'm going to be watching is going to occur at 3:25 Central Standard Time. CBS has the game. New York Giants, Philadelphia Eagles, guys.
Oh, so you got the same what it's be.
Yeah. That I have to look at, guys. The line on this game is 14 points. Philly by 14, guys.
Ooh, that's big.
That worries me.
That worries me.
That's way too much.
That worries me very, very much because I'm not even sure Jalen is going to play. And Jalen needs to play in this game. If he is not in this game, this is gonna be some trouble, man. It would be so painful. It would be so painful for the Eagles to play so well for the entire season and not get home field and have to go on the road in the first round. That would be painful. Painful. So that's the game I'm watching, and it's so crazy. I'm telling you, man, the NFL, they know exactly what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing because 3:25, the Giants and Eagles are playing. At 3:25, the Cowboys and the Commanders are playing. So they're both playing at the same time. They can't see what the result was, so they can't watch the game. They gotta play. Like the Commanders, they're gonna play. They're not gonna lay down. Like they're going to play. Like they would love to force the Cowboys to lose this game and have to go on the road to Tampa Bay to where they better not screw up, because if they do, they will not hear the end of it. They would love for that to happen. They would love to make that happen, guys. So, guys, this is a lovely last week of football. This is a lovely week 18, man. Like this is lovely, man.
Right.
Like
it's set up perfectly.
Man, this is lovely.
Man, gotta love it. Hey, this is why we gotta keep on watching, keep it up with the stats, man. Fantasy Cookout. That's where we get all the details. Hey, I love it.
Right.
But guys, we're gonna close it out tonight. I appreciate you coming, man. Hey, like I said, I'm in the works right now, putting some stuff together. Hey, we gonna have some more technology with this. You're gonna have. I'm so excited. So much more stuff going on, content-wise. Like I said, the little snippet that we were talking about with the draft positions and everything else and different players, that's just a little sample of what's going to be going on in this offseason. It's just so much commentary, so many different dynamics that's going to be going on, especially with teams trying to decide where they need to invest so they can have a proper future, with their teams. It's just going to be so much content. And hey, this is Marque's realm. I'm looking forward to seeing like his statistics, learning like what he knows about all these random ass players that I've never heard of in my life that he knows the back of his hand.
Can't wait. Look, hey, I think what we should do too, we should do a mock draft, like have our own each mock draft and kind of see who has let's see who picked the better draft. Or let's see how it falls compared to the real draft. Just the first two rounds. We don't get crazy. We're not gonna go all 6.
Oh, that's where you find the gems at. I ain't gonna. We don't have to do it for this, but that's hard to predict. Yeah. But I'm down with that. First 2 rounds, just to see what the draft order would be. They are, be the GMs, try to, strategize and see where they're going with this.
Right.
I like it. Yeah. Hey, like always, guys, appreciate. Hey, the Fantasy Cookout. Like I said, we're here. We're going to be putting out content continuously. We'll have even our own small sub segments of the cookout just to talk about players and different drama that's going on in the NFL. It's going to be great, man. Hey guys, I'm grateful for you guys. Appreciate it. Thank you for the subscribers who watch. Please like and subscribe and share with your friends. Like I said, we're only trying to bring value even in the off season, so you can be prepared for your NFL drafts, your fantasy football drafts, And hey, I might become a Falcons fan if they do right. Who knows? Crazier things that happen.
Man, don't screw this up, man. Don't screw this up. Please, look, man, the Falcons, don't screw this up, man. Don't do it.
Hey,
right.
Falcons on Falcon. But hey, everybody be blessed. Have a good night. Take care, guys. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.